So I'm going to record this little introduction to this video right here. Hi, we're going to do this Southeast style. So many people ain't got good mentors and whatnot with handling soil and whatnot. There's a lot that goes, there really truly is a lot that goes into that stuff. There really is. And it's not easy to learn. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it. But I'm going to do my best to break it down, and take it to the simplest forms. And with this particular demonstration, and well, I know it's a little bit unique and not many people do this type of demonstration. So if it does help, smash that comment, hit me some, give me some ratings and whatnot with the thumbs. Let me know in the comments what you think of this. And this is definitely a tricky video to do and portray, but when things come to me, they come to me, right? Kind of like all of us, every once in a while that light bulb will pop on. Boom, there it is, just like that. Just goes, boom. Well, a person in the comments suggested more videos that involve dirt. So we're going to cover that. And y'all just bear with me. And yes, there was a moment where my storage on my phone filled up. I had to delete some stuff and then resume the filming. I did not intentionally do it that way. It just happened, and it is what it is. I rolled with it. And, it's going to be, there's going to be a little spot in, later on in the video where it kind of jolts and jerks just a hair with the footage. I apologize for that. I'm not perfect, but I did my best with what I had to work with, and you all just need to understand that. And it's all we need. The main thing we need to understand, we just got to do the best we can with what we have to work with. And it's kind of like that old saying, oh, just a little more money will make me happier. No, it won't. It's always just a little more, just a little more. Well, understand this. You get a raise, you're going to want more. You're going to want another raise, and another one, and another one. And you're going to get comfortable with every single raise. Don't fall into that trap. Take that raise and set it aside for later in life. And let's see what we can learn from this video. Thank you. Okay. Chef Matt here with a weird looking demonstration. Until you actually pay attention to the entire video. Alright, now, this is not entirely a difficult concept to grasp. Okay. A lot of people, they like to go as deep as they can, as quick as they can when putting in, when going down below the surface to put in concrete. And it's always better to remove little tiny bits of material at a time. Now, it's, you're probably sitting there going, but wait, time is money, time is money. No, you're wrong, okay? The deeper you dig, the more fuel, the more wear and tear, the harder you are on your machine. Now also, another important reason why I left the bottom on this like I did, that part of the demonstration, because a lot of people, they actually will tend to really angle the blade when they're digging with implements in the rear and even on the front too. I've seen it too, like with a loader on the front of a tractor or a rear blade or even a rear box blade. They want to take too much too quick, and it's gonna, and this is exactly where the demonstration will demonstrate it. Okay, now the more severe the angle of the cutting edge down here is, the more vertical it is, the more it's going to want to, as you go along, the more it's going to want to dig down. Well, that's also going to put added strain on your machine. Not good. Not good. Don't do it. Please pay attention to this. Take it easy. In general, I see it a lot on a lot of YouTube channels and whatnot. Really steep angles, trying to go really deep, really fast. Not the idea you want. In general, gotta let the tool do the work. And, you can just ease it along. Nice and gentle. Nice and gentle. All the way along. You'll see a savings in more than just your fuel bill. Check this out. That video about what causes foundations to fail, it all starts with the guy running this thing right here. Gets too greedy. It gets too greedy. Takes it really deep, and you see how it's not really smooth. That's going to wear and tear on the machine. It's putting excessive strain on it. So not only is it important to not take too much, it's also important to make sure that your blade is, the cutting edge of your blade is at just enough of an angle to where it's going to take a gentle layer off. Gentle layer. Whereas if you're too aggressive with it, all those vibrations and whatnot that you saw in the end of this plastic right here, the end of this green plastic bottle here, how it was jumping with the various screws and stuff. Now, a lot of people, they don't understand, even in rocky soil, you might actually tear up you're 12 times more likely to damage infrastructure when you're being too aggressive with your equipment. It's already working so hard, it's so jerky. When you're in the operator's seat, you're unable to feel where some of the infrastructural things are. Like, for example, I've seen this one with my own eyes. A gentleman was up on a tractor, running a backhoe. All right, now we're going to change perspective here. And he was just literally dig deep, scrape up. Well, in the process of that, he did not realize until it was too late, and the entire 200-foot ditch became a moat. Yes, you heard correct. A 200-foot ditch became a moat. What did he hit, you wonder? A water line on his own farm. Seen it? I was man in a ditch. When I saw what he was doing, I said, halt, 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 halt. And as I was jumping up, well, never mind there, operator. Looks like that's going to be a nasty fix. Have fun with that water line you just ripped through. And quite honestly, there is a reason a really good operator that's really technical, really skilled will just go layer by layer, and then he'll curl as he reaches. You know, he keeps the bucket at a consistent angle until a certain spot, and then he simply curls it up, swings, dumps, comes back with it still dumped in, and then he'll curl it in to start his dig to get on. You know, he'll curl it in a little bit, curl that bucket in just a little tiny bit, nice and gentle until he's got it to where it's just pulling up another layer, nice and gentle, and then a curl of the bucket, a swing and a dump. You ain't gotta be bejesus far, you ain't gotta be super far with your dumpings of the material in your bucket. There is a point of diminishing, and I sincerely apologize for the little interruption there. Those of you who have ever shot video before will understand what happened there firsthand. I was recording, I did not verify that I had enough space for the recording and the duration I was doing. And not only that, I don't script this stuff. I don't honestly know how long it's going to take. But back on to where we were. And, you know, just gentle and take a dig. And an angle that I found to be, you know, the sweet spot angle amount is for every foot in depth. You just want to go I'd say about I'd say, of course, yes, you're going to have to understand that there's a general variance here. 1 to 2 bucket widths. So if I'm taking, for every foot that you're going to dig down, well, with each foot that you go down, so you take a dig, you curl, you swing, there's 1 bucket width, and then another, and you just dump. Now, a really big trick here, an expert excavator operator taught me this trick. You'll thank me for it later. Little trick, you take, as you're coming in, you take your dig, and you keep it nice and consistent, layer by layer, and you curl in to finish it off, and you go your bucket width, keeping it nice and tight to the machine for a moment. No need to run a whole bunch of functions at once and that is even more so important on an underpowered machine. But as you're taking your curl in, once you've taken your curl in, you do want to begin to bring the dipper up. At this point, where you begin to curl your bucket in, you want to begin to put a little up motion on the boom. And as you're curling and whatnot, you want to kind of move the joystick more towards lifting the boom than scooping the bucket. You want to move more of the motion towards lifting than scooping as you come up. And you can just keep it nice and tight in the machine. Swing a couple bucket widths over. And you can just generally, general rule of thumb, never, ever, when you're taking your dig, never, ever get too close with your dig. You want to keep that dipper arm, and it's kind of tough as a human to demonstrate this, okay, but you want your dipper arm to not come any further, any closer to you than about, let's say, 20 degrees off of plumb on the face of the arm that you can see. And if you have a difficult time with this, understand this. It is a skill that is learned. It is a skill that is acquired. Nothing is going to be easy at first. You didn't climb out. You didn't pop into this world running. You came out only having one skill and one ability. The ability to learn and the skill to learn. So just remember, just take small digs, curl in, come a bucket or two, even just that bucket width over, and on your way out with the dipper, you can dump it like this until it goes all the way. And yes, it is okay to have it stay in the straight line like that. You actually do want to do that, is what one of the best excavator instructors I've ever met has taught me. In general, take a dig, go bucket width over, come out, come back. And yes, you can even shake, you can, with your joystick, if you got a little bit clumping up and sticking to your bucket, you can kind of shake it a little bit with the boom. Will be the absolute most effective. Your main boom, you kind of want to, because when you've slung it out, and yes, it's a very complicated skill, the backhoe. It's also a very complicated skill with a loader. A lot more simple on doing just general grading. And another little tip here, when you're grading in general, little digs at a decent angle, nothing too steep, just an angle in general. For every 2 foot in blade width, you want the discharge side 1 foot further back than the other side. And that's going to give you a really good angle to work in general. Going to give you a really good angle of working. As you come across that soil, it's going to discharge nice. Also, humongous tip with your attachments, with your ground engaging attachments. Do not store them in a warm place, in a temperature controlled place. Just keep them in an uninsulated but dry place. What that's going to allow you to do, that blade, it's all, that implement, it's already a very similar temperature to what you're working with. So you're not going to get a whole heck of a lot of excessive material sticking to it. Also, You always want to sharpen at the cutting edge of the blade. Keep it sharp. Just a simple, a lithium battery powered angle grinder will do. Just a simple lithium battery powered angle grinder. Hit it up every once in a while, just on the bottom side underneath where it's cutting, with your cutting blade, with your blades and your buckets and whatnot. Just hit it up and knock down any of the mushroomed out spots. Kind of make it a nice consistent blade. Doesn't have to be perfect, but just keep it pretty consistent. A sharper blade's gonna work more efficiently than a dull blade. Also, if your blade's starting to rust a little bit, don't be afraid to just. I know it sounds like it's going to be a really time-consuming task, but no, it's not. I've ran an angle grinder doing this stuff before. Just hit it up on the surface in here on a Friday. Just hit it up on the entire surface of where that material comes into contact with, and hit that whole blade. And this is a very important step here. It's very critical to understand this. Put an epoxy coat on it. The epoxy coating, don't even worry about color. It is a two-part coating. It's very time sensitive when applying it. An HVLP gun, the HVLP gun is your friend with this stuff. Just shoot that whole implement. Shoot it all with the epoxy coating. It'll help your tool cut better. It's easy to clean. It's pretty abrasion resistant. But you need to make sure you give it time to fully cure before you use it once you've done that. I know it's going to seem contradictory to have that downtime, but that epoxy coating, it's durable. The wetter it gets, the less friction you have. So if you're digging in snow, that snow, any of it that kind of melts a little bit when it comes into contact with the blade from friction, it's just going to lubricate it to where it's not going to stick very much. A lot of the paints out there that I've seen on a lot of equipment, they're really sticky in the heat. Not epoxy coating. I have never seen epoxy coating have anywhere near the amount of material stick to it than any other coating. Not wax, like what you put on a car. Not paint, not enamel, not even powder coat. Nothing does that job anywhere near as efficiently as epoxy coating. Yeah, you're looking at several, you're easily looking at, for the 5-gallon bucket kit, you're usually looking at the neighborhood of a couple of the $100 bills before tax. Literally a couple of the $100 bills. Take time, take your time to do the prep work. Hit it up with the grinder. Not a lot of pressure either. Just let the tool do the work. And how I can compare that is, and no, I honestly am not sponsored by DeWalt. I purchased it. It's not a sponsorship. If it were, there'd be paid promotion in my screen. But drills, classic example. Let the tool do the work. There's a reason these drills with these slip clutches on them have settings and have these settings. I found through tried and true tests that on the drills, okay, like if you see the number 15, or if you go to 16, it's going to be the inch-pounds of torque you put into it. Now, obviously, up past here, once you hit 12, you've gone into foot-pounds in that region. But in general, 12 inch-pounds is a foot-pound. Just divide it by 12. That's all you got to do. Let's say you have a lever. You need to put an inch-pound in it. Yes, right at 1 inch off of the center of rotation. The dead center portion. Just take a pound at 1 inch off. Boom, there's your 1 inch pound of torque. You want to take that to 2 inches. Well, if you want to go to 2 inch pounds of torque, just move it away another inch. What a concept. So many people have a very difficult time with math. That 1 pound, every inch you move it away, increases it by an inch-pound. That is pretty much the generalized measure for torque. In America, at least. Now, with Newton meters, every meter out with a Newton, which is a measurement of weight. Every meter out with the Newton, you're going up 1 Newton in torque. But what I found with a lot of the tools is this tends to measure it in inch-pounds. Yeah. Pretty sure it's inch-pounds. It could be a different measurement, but still, like with putting sheet metal screw, like with putting metal siding and stuff, it's right around the 1 foot-pound of torque range. That's going to put it right at the right level, plus or minus a couple inch-pounds. Translation, about 12 inch-pounds, give or take a couple inch-pounds, is going to be, you're going to generally be in the 10 to 14 setting on your drill for putting on metal siding and roofing. Just the way the dog took the turd, dropped the turd on the lawn. It's just the way it falls, okay? Expert roofer and sider, an expert siding and roofing installer, explain that one to me. In general, you're going to be within a couple positions of the 12 mark on your cordless drills. Big advice here, falling in the line of let the tool do the work. Notice I have a drill bit on my gun. Now, most people, a little trick on these DeWalt deep impacts. Okay, you just turn the chuck. You don't even have to put the trigger lock on, even though I strongly recommend it. And just safety precaution in general, just take the battery off too. And you could just, you'll feel it where it gives. It's got that spring-loaded spot in the chuck tension-wise. That click. You just unclick it. You can just take a light tap. Drill bits actually have a dull tip. Not many. The very tip of it's dull. It's actually got sharp leading edges on a drill bit. Not many people know that. There are some that have a spiraled conical shape on it. Don't do this trick with those. If you don't feel comfortable with that, you just put your hand behind the drill, give a little pop. Most times they'll come right out. Now I generally, this little adapter right here is a really cool piece of the kit that I bought. And there's a reason I say that. It turns your 3/8 chuck into a 1/4 inch quick chuck. There it is. This is literally how easy it is. Now, you're going to notice on this drill, on this gun, on that attachment, it's got a little spring load. So, helps keep contact better. Just that little amount of movement. You would be really amazed at how much this little device, with that little bit of movement, it allows in and out. But your bit is not going to pop out. It's not going to get pulled out. And just a simple slide the color back and it pops right out. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And yes, ironically, the tool is yellow, so there you go. Falls down on the line, coming back to the reference here. Just general, little at a time. It's not difficult. Thank you all for watching. Understand that if you go too far down, you're going to have to put the material back. If you have to put the material back, you got to wait for that to naturally settle. Take her slow, take her easy. It's better to take it down to that little, to about that little bit of tolerance to where, just get it close. Take it down to where it's close. And then you just have a bunch of guys with landscape rakes handle it by hand. That's what the ground crew's for. As an equipment operator, you do your job. You do your task. Your task, run this bucket. Run this bucket. The guy in the ditch needs to do his task. Don't be afraid at all. Just totally... if you sit there and you go, that's as far down as I'm going. And you take that drag and hit with that. That's as far down as I'm going. And we're pretty darn close. You actually will get the, when you're digging around utilities and stuff, federal law does dictate it needs to be hand dug within a certain amount of distance of the depth of the utilities. And if all goes well, sometime in the future, you may actually see me doing stuff like that as a real live demonstration. Thank you for watching. As always, ladies and gentlemen, I encourage you to keep tuning in. And now I've got a playlist I've got to create. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching. I sincerely appreciate it, and I humbly accept the fact that my words carry weight and affect others, and I appreciate the subscriber that on the first video of this playlist commented on that video and said, do more like this. That would be the What Causes Foundations to Fail video. And gentlemen out there, keep on digging. Don't get greedy, because you will actually build a faulty base for the foundation. And go on to other portions of what goes into building a foundation and whatnot. at a later point in time, at least 6 months down the road. Yeah, really? Yeah, at least 6 months down the road. Can't go into details, but real life demonstrations are down the road somewhere. As always, work your equipment, don't abuse it. You'll see the savings in 4 different areas. 1, hassle from the people above you in the food chain of your business, Place 2, you're going to save the amount of, you're going to find yourself spending less time fueling up. You're going to see less amounts of fuel being burned to do the same amount of work. Take that leap of faith with me. Also, the 3rd place you're going to see the savings is in reduction of wear on the machine. And the 4th place that you're going to see a savings on is downtime. Don't get greedy. Be patient. There's no rush. And if you're working for someone that's rushing you, they don't appreciate you. Move on. Thank you. Have a good one. Hope to see you around. And Saturday the 14th in the afternoon, I'll be out and about. You want to take a picture with me? You want to thank me? You want to do some positive encouragement and stuff? Don't be afraid to. And understand this, the areas I accept the welcoming are in small towns. Because, quite frankly, when subscribers approach me and crowd me in big cities, cops don't like that. Neither do the places that I go into. They don't like that. So, I can totally understand, if I'm at the hardware store in a small town, I can totally understand you saying, hey, that was an amazing demonstration you did the other day with nothing but a cardboard box and a green bottle. If you watched all the way to the end of this, include green in your comment. And we'll see who else understands it. Have a good one. Certainly appreciate it. Y'all be safe out there. Keep the greasy side down and the operator's side up.